Hi, I'm Helen from Ohio. Does that name ring any bell? Yes, I am the famous Helen in social these days for my self-written and performed songs on YouTube. But before being as famous as I am now, I was a forgettable person with nothing to be proud of.
Helen, the new song is great!
Brian, my best friend since elementary school, said loudly when he biked past my house. My father stopped raking dry leaves when he heard that and was surprised.
Wow, Helen, what is your new song?
I don't really want to share because honestly, I have no other viewers beside Brian, which is embarrassing, to say the least. I wrote a song and put it in YouTube. It's nothing special, Dad.
Oh, really? Can I hear it?
I opened it on my phone for my dad to hear.
Oh, how cool! This is the view from your window.
Yes, Dad. What do you think? I was a little disappointed because his first comment was not about the song. He stopped watching and looked at me, judging. I was so nervous for a second, but he smiled.
You're a true talent, Helen.
Really?
Of course, honey. It's obvious. Why are you doubting yourself?
I felt immediate relief and openly shared with my dad about my previous songs that I never let anyone hear. That night when my mom got home, she heard from my dad and asked to see the video. She exclaimed excitedly after hearing it.
Oh, honey, I'll be your biggest fan.
No way! I'm her biggest fan. You're the second biggest.
My dad interrupted, being silly. I had a great time with my parents and had a strange feeling inside me. Something you can call being capable, I guess. Although I only had 3 people enjoying my work at that time. Inspirations hit me like a hurricane, and I started composing my next best song. After the vacation, I returned to school. Brian helped take me because my parents were too busy.
Helen, instead of showing the view from your window, which is quite boring, why don't you show yourself?
Brian said as he was driving. Filming myself? Looking like this? I was not entirely happy to hear a suggestion. I don't know why. I mean, I know why I reacted that way. I never felt confident about how I looked. I thought I was ugly because the girls at school made fun of me all the time, and I was never asked to prom by any boys. You might disagree, but that's how I felt at that time before I became famous. I have a broad jaw and a nose that was not straight and rather pointy. I was called a witch all the time, and that was not even Halloween time. Brian sensed something not right immediately. He didn't take it personally and explained to me calmly.
I didn't say showing your face. You can show your guitar and your fingers playing the instrument.
We stopped to get gas. Brian turned to me before stepping out.
Helen, take a look at your hands and fingers. I was serious about this and wanted to help you out.
I listened to Brian after all. He had always been there for me, and to our surprise, my video hit 100,000 views, then 1 million views just like that. It kept increasing, and I was shocked to find that people out there had watched my work 10 million times. So it was no longer just people in my family or my acquaintances. I was known to millions of people that I've never met before. What's more, I actually earned some money for my videos.
Helen, we're so proud of you.
My parents told me on the phone. I was so emotional on this end.
Huh? Have you ever thought of going live and socializing with your fans, Helen?
It was Brian and his brilliant ideas again. I didn't think much and agreed. Brian helped me pick out my outfits every time I went live. Still, I never showed my face. I moved out of my dorm because of how excited I was about my future. It had never been better. I was full of energy and inspiration all the time. One day, Brian took me to meet with his new friends. After everything, I felt a lot more confident about myself and kind of forgot my concern about how I looked. I introduced myself as the famous Helen on the internet. An awkward moment of silence. Then people burst into laughter.
Brian, your friend is funny.
A guy said. The ginger-haired girl next to him chimed in. Is she talking about her wildest dream right now? It's okay. We're right there with you. Hey, if you want to be famous, Hollywood can help. They can save money and makeup too, if you know what I'm saying. I was fuming and couldn't lift my head up to face them. I couldn't hear things clearly anymore. And I didn't realize when Brian pulled me out of that room.
I'm terribly sorry, Helen.
I didn't know what to say. It was not his fault. I was just overly confident at that moment and forgot that people never saw my face.
Have you ever considered plastic surgery, Helen?
Brian said and immediately followed up with something not to cause any misunderstanding.
Believe me, I'm saying this not because of what just happened. Your fans have been asking to see your face. You can even perform live in person after the surgery. That's what you want, right?
He was wrong. I had never thought of fixing my face until that moment. Still upset about what happened, I asked Brian to contact a good plastic surgeon for me. Things went smoothly, and after everything was done, I realized that I never asked my parents for their thoughts, and they were on their way from Ohio to visit me. I just wanted to be pretty. You know that before this, I was at a loss for words when facing them. My face was still fully covered after the surgery, but they didn't say anything much. The whole time, they just looked worried and were super quiet. Before returning home, they hugged me and said,
We are always here for you. You know that, right?
the outcome was beyond my wish. My first time going live and showing my face was a blast. All of my videos became more popular than ever after that. I was on cloud 9. I held Brian tightly and cried, Brian, I was never this happy. You are my lucky charm.
Oh, it was all thanks to your talent, Helen.
I was busy enjoying my new life. I called home less and less until one day when I wanted to invite my parents to my first live show ever. I suddenly realized the distance between us.
I'm sorry, Helen. I just can't leave word for one day.
My mom said on a video chat.
I can't come either because Uncle Nick is hospitalized.
My dad added, were they trying to avoid showing themselves next to me? I felt sad and lost the fire in me. When I was just an ugly and known girl, they loved me unconditionally. But now, I became prettier and more famous. They turned their back against me.
Helen, instead of overthinking, why don't you talk it out with them?
Brian couldn't take my attitude and emotion anymore, especially when the show had been all planned out, so he had to speak up. Once again, I listened to my dear friend and returned to Ohio without giving my parents a heads up. My mom wasn't busy with her job at the fast food restaurant, despite having a famous daughter that could free her from working. My dad didn't change either, still working hard at the car wash daily. They were still the same two people. Could the problem be me? They never asked for my support financially, and I had been so caught up with my plans. I lost the habit of checking in with them.
So I heard that the daughter is the social media star now. Why are you still working this hard, Emma?
Did you not provide for the family at all, Alma?
Or maybe you're doing this for attention and excuses to show off your girl. The regulars at the restaurant teased my mom like that. I couldn't take it anymore. Was about to step in and argue, but my mom stopped me in time. Mom, why are you stopping me?
You don't want people to see your face, right? Let's go home first.
No, people recognizing me is not a problem. It's what they said to you that...
Helen, listen to me. Go home, please.
My mom didn't let me finish and urged me home. She kind of pushed me away and immediately returned to work. I was, of course, upset about that, but then I got a message from Brian. He told me about a chain of comments under one of the videos with me playing my song. Turned out, my parents were confused and went on a fake channel that uploaded my videos without my permission and left comments. That's my daughter, everyone. My dad commented using his account with himself on the profile picture. People jumped right in and shame him for that. Are you really your dad? You look more like a scammer. That was one of the first comments and people followed right after. To make it worse, the fake YouTube account denied that he was my dad. Disclaimer, just look at our faces. Any resemblance? I don't think so. This is a scammer for sure. People, please don't fall for this. Get lost, old man. Stop fooling people. Oh gosh, who do you think you're fooling? Pathetic old man. Stop making our Helen look bad. The comments became harsher, almost insulting to my dad. Someone even made fun of my dad's look and told him to change his profile photo before scamming people. He has a pig-looking face on a donkey's head.
Stupid pighead claiming that he's father of the star.
Some of my fans on that page were showing their anger on behalf of me. Or more correctly, the fake account. They photoshopped my dad's face on animals. I couldn't take it anymore. I was trembling and burst into tears. Finally, my parents got home. I tried to pull myself together and join the dinner with them. They ignored my red eyes and tried to act like nothing was wrong. I want to know why you're not coming to my show. The real reason why. I spoke up.
Honey, I told you already.
That was not the truth. I responded right after. My dad put down his spoon, went quiet for a second and said,
I don't think it's a good idea. Us being there will affect your reputation.
Affect my reputation? I asked.
Helen, we know that famous people need to maintain their image.
No, I interrupted. I have nothing to hide and nothing to be ashamed of. I wanted to show the world my two biggest loves who gave birth to me. Now you see why I'm having this live stream after announcing a quick pause to prepare for my comeback. And now you know I didn't look that pretty before. Take a look at this photo. The two people here are my parents, and the unattractive girl there is me. I am not afraid to show off my parents, and nobody should ever feel that way just because of others' judgments. Mom and Dad, I love you both. I talked to the camera in front of me, knowing that they were watching at home and feeling proud of me.